Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the 2020 love outlook for the sign of Sagittarius. Alright guys, Aries and Leo are up already. And this is going to be for those of you who are in a relationship with your significant other, right? This is going to be a twin flame sort of look. And specifically for those of you who are with somebody or coming into the new year with somebody. The general readings are up, and in the general readings, there may, we may cover career and life, spirituality, and your love relationships. Really all depends. But here we're looking specifically at love and relationship, okay? And for those of you who are coming into 2020 with someone. This is not necessarily for the single Sagittarius, although it may still resonate with you. So just take it as it applies to you. Because some people may have just started a relationship, or you may just now be talking to someone and you're single, but coming into 2020, this relationship develops, and it could indeed be the same relationship that we're talking about here. So it really all depends on your situation. All right, Sagittarius wedding. Oh. We're going to pull out 2 romance angel messages for you and your partner and let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Wow. All right, let's move these right up because we're going to need the room. Interesting. Wedding and let go of control issues. So we're going to see what that all means for you, Sagittarius, as we get into your spread. Let me go ahead and pull out your beautiful Spirit Animal Oracle cards. And this is, of course, the Oracle deck that I'm giving away for Christmas, guys. So if you're interested in receiving this beautiful Oracle deck, a brand new one, obviously, then go ahead and make sure you leave me a comment in the comment section. And you, of course, you have to be subscribed to my channel, and that's it. Just have to be a subscriber, and you have to let me know somewhere in the comment section that you're interested, so that I'm giving it away to someone who actually would want the deck rather than giving it to someone who really isn't interested in working with the tarot themselves or with oracle decks themselves. All right, guys, let's get right into it. I'm going to pull out 2 animal spirits, just as we did for the romance angel messages. And these animal spirits can be vice versa, right? So you may relate with one or the other at different times of the year, and the same thing for your partner. But it'll give us an idea of how compatible you are to look at the 2 animal spirits as well. All right, guys. This deck is still pretty sticky because it's brand new, but nevertheless, it's so beautiful. I love working with it. Hawk spirit. Let the spirit guide you, right? Beautiful. And we have electric eel spirit. Wow. Huh. Interesting. So when we take a look at this, we see there's like a real compatibility here. Even when we look at the colors, there may be 2 very different animal elements, though. We have one that is clearly an air spirit, hawk, and then electric eel, which would clearly be, I believe, a water energy. Okay, now the hawk. The hawk is quite interesting. Let spirit be your guide. The hawk is generally associated with fate having its eye on you, or the spirit having its eye on you. The hawk is one of these creatures that can see the entire scenario as well as the little itty-bitty details, and can understand how everything fits together. And so in this way, the hawk spirit comes in a time in our lives when we are really being divinely guided. Things are happening in a way that is being divinely guided. And also we are gaining a lot of clarity about situations, so that we are confident with, the way that they are unfolding. Because the hawk is ever seeing, ever watchful. It can see everything, right? So in this way, the hawk spirit is really, really nice when you're trying to gain perspective on a situation. Okay, so it's beautiful. It feels very fated. One of you whoever is resonating with this hawk energy this year is really going to be feeling like they're on their destined path. Then you also have electric eel spirit. The electric eel spirit talks about that jolt of electricity that you get when you are excited about life, when inspiration is starting to come in, when you are really manifesting your creative spirit, right? So electric eel is very much synonymous with this like bolt of electricity. It is a water, I would say this is a water elemental animal spirit, right? Associated with water, of course. So in this way, we have feelings that are really sort of like electric, I want to say. For some of you, this is going to be a year where the relationship is really going to feel like, it may indeed feel quite amazing, especially with weddings. Some of you Sagittarius are with somebody this year where you are, it's going to feel very much like you've met your perfect partner. You've met the partner that destiny wants you to have. You know what I mean? There's going to be times of the year where it feels absolutely electric to be with this person. The chemistry is going to be really off the hook with this electric eel spirit. Really, really nice. A high level of creativity as well you're going to have with this person. So let's get right into your spread. We're going to pull out 3 cards for you, Sagittarius, and 3 cards for your person. How you see yourself, how you see them, and how you see the relationship. And then again for your person. And of course, like I said before, just take what resonates with you. And if it doesn't apply to your situation, that's fine. Just let it go. Not every side of it will apply, but some things, you know, some things will. Right? And if it does, that's great, you know. It's just really meant to give you some insight, some clarity, perhaps, maybe some confirmation. You know, just to encourage you a lot of times. That's what tarot readings really are about a lot of times. It's really just clarifying and confirming things you already knew, right? All right, guys. So, Sagittarius, your cards, straight out, how you see yourself. Empress energy, how you see them. 9 of Swords, how you see the relationship. How they see themselves. How they see you. And how they see the relationship. All right. Okay. Wow. Bottom of the deck, Sagittarius, we have 5 of Swords. So, there's definitely some power struggle somewhere there, right? So let's get right into it. Let me move this over just a little bit. I want to see so you can see the animal spirit names. All right, guys. So how you see yourself, how they see themselves. This is quite interesting. You're both like a match made in the weird way in heaven, like, and then in a weird way, this is interesting. It's like Empress and High Priestess. So I'm going to say for some of you, yeah, let go of control issues is definitely on the board. Because although these two sort of figures seem as though they would be highly compatible, in a lot of ways they're not. The Empress is how you see yourself, Sagittarius. And so you're feeling very much like you are really sort of feeling highly creative this year. You are really getting into sort of your own sort of this is a year where it's all about you, right? You're getting into your own thing in terms of making sure you're happy, making sure that, you know, you are taking care of your garden. You are following your creative ambitions, right? This is a really highly independent and creative year for a lot of the Sagittarius, right? And so this is how you see yourself. You're kind of creating your own garden right now. And you're just really into sort of nurturing yourself and nurturing your body and all of these types of things. Really just sort of like making sure that you're resonating highly with that creative ability, right? And in order to do that, you have to fertilize yourself in the sense of taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself. Now, your partner sees themselves as a High Priestess. That's interesting because they see themselves as very much like a teacher, a highly intuitive or spiritual person, Sagittarius. It could be that you are dealing with somebody who is a healer in some way, or... But High Priestess is also highly sort of self-confident, right? And this is somebody who really goes with their gut. This is somebody who kind of has a handle on life. They have a lot of wisdom, but they're not very forthcoming. They can be quite cagey. So Sagittarius, it could be, you know, this person is going to be rather aloof. They're not necessarily, and this is what I mean, that there is a feeling where compatibility-wise, yeah, you may have to let go of control issues a little bit because the High Priestess is not so forthright or giving. She's not so communicative, right? She's really sort of cagey. And she's actually very difficult to sort of have a conversation with, right? However, she's really, she does have a finger on her intuitive pulse, as it were, and she is highly self-confident. She does have a lot of wisdom. She does have a lot of understanding, but she just doesn't give anything over. And so it's interesting that you two see yourselves this way, right? It's like you guys are two independent halves of a relationship, you know, but it works out in a lot of ways, because it's like, I want to say that this is like an example of a couple where you guys really love each other, obviously, and you're together, but neither, you know, you guys really, like, you have your own life, you know. And remember, this isn't gender specific or sexual orientation specific. This could be any sort of situation, but it's like you both have your own lives very, very much. I wouldn't even be surprised if you two don't actually live together, but you're together. You know, it's like you're best friends and you work well together, but you guys are two very, very different people, Sagittarius. Nevertheless, and then again, also, like how, you know, you have hawk spirit and electric eel spirit, so that's air and water. It's it's like very different people, yet somehow you guys do have a mutual respect for each other, right? You understand each other very well. And this mutual respect is going to be one of the reasons why this relationship works in the first place. Now, how you see your person and how they see you. You see your person as a 9 of Swords right now, and they see you as a Leo. And so this makes a lot of sense. It could be that this year your person is really going through a lot of issues, Sagittarius. You may be with someone who's really dealing with a lot of sort of healing that needs to happen. 9 of Swords is somebody who has a lot of sleepless nights. They have a lot of angst, a lot of aggravation. They have a lot of regret and a lot of guilt. You know, this is how you see them. You see them really struggling. They see you as Leo energy, strength, 8 major arcana. So your person is seeing you, Sagittarius, as the strong, fiery individual that you are. And I think they're really sort of like depending on that. Even though they resonate with High Priestess, even though she has a strong sort of intuitive ability and self-confidence, that's still very different than the strength that you exhibit. Right. And so your person may be very spiritual indeed. They may have a high levels of intuitive ability, or they may believe they have a high level of intuitive ability. Remember, this is how your person sees themselves. That's not necessarily true. They may see themselves as, sorry about that. It's like living in a city on the East Coast. It's just like impossible to have any video that's like got decent, quiet background. But anyway, what I was saying is that your person sees themselves as a High Priestess, but just because they see themselves as that doesn't mean that they are the fully embodied High Priestess. They may believe that they're resonating very highly with like super intuitive ability or spiritual intelligence, but at the same time, you see them as really struggling, Sagittarius, and they see you as being so strong. So it could indeed be that you're dealing with somebody who wishes to be highly sort of intuitive, wishes to have a stronger sort of spiritual center, but they may be struggling a little bit this year, and they're really looking to you for strength, Sagittarius. How do you see the relationship, and how do they see the relationship? Well, you see the relationship as a page of swords, and they see it as a king of wands. And this is also quite interesting, Sagittarius, because page of swords is kind of like, this is the person that is very sort of like positive thinking. They don't let negative thinking get in the way. They kind of cut away at any sort of self-doubt, or they don't allow others to sort of like impede their progress with their doubt. You know, this is someone who's very idealistic, and they want to follow their path. You know, they're very ambitious. They know what they want and all of that, and they won't be deterred, or they won't be stopped, right? Page of Swords. It's like that youthful sort of, I'm going to go out and I'm going to yell out to the world what I think of it. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to go and follow my dream, and I'm not going to be sort of like, you know, because swords is mental, right? Our mind and our communication, how we see ourselves. So with Page of Swords, it's like somebody who is being extremely positive mentally, and they just don't want to let the world knock them down. And this is very much how you see the relationship, Sagittarius. I think, you know, you see the relationship as like, you know, you're there in a lot of ways to help this person, to support this person. You don't want to be negative. You want to kind of allow, you know, help them have a positive image of themselves, right? You can see that they're struggling here. And for a lot of you, again, letting go of control issues is going to be the deal this year, right? And so you're trying to be their confidant. You're trying to help them sort of, dispel any self-doubt or negative thinking. I know you're trying to be very supportive. They see you as the King of Wands. And again, you're dealing with, some of you Sagittarius will be dealing with somebody who really sees you as sort of the dominant one, the strong one, the one with who is very confident. Yet, how can I say it? This person is still wishing very much, they're drawing on a lot of your energy. You know what I'm saying? They're drawing on a lot of your energy, but I'm not sure how much they're taking responsibility for themselves. Again, they may see themselves as the high priestess, but I wonder how much of that in reality, because it's almost like Sagittarius, you see them and you're like, yeah, they think they got it together, but they really don't. I'm trying to help them. It's like you're trying to help somebody who's quite arrogant about their spirituality and their place, right? They're quite, in a way, arrogant about it. They act as though they have it all together, but the truth of the matter is you know that they don't, because you see them struggling. It's like you're trying to help them, but they're being arrogant in a lot of ways, so they won't necessarily accept your help the way they should. They know they want to tap into your energy, though. They see you as being very strong, but I think a lot of that arrogance is making it very difficult. This is why control issues is a problem with this relationship, because it's like their arrogance is not allowing you and them to really have the right communication that you should. You can see them really sort of struggling. You can see them having like a lot of guilt and regret, but yet they're so arrogant they won't really admit to that, so you can't help them with it. There's a lot of arguing. 5 of Swords, you guys definitely have arguing and I want to say control issues, power struggles. 5 of Swords is like, at some point it's just like you give up, because you realize you're dealing with somebody it's just very difficult to help, because they're always going to be trying to win. And you kind of really sort of, 5 of Swords is a card for defeat, but a lot of times it's defeat that we acquiesce because we just can't deal with this person anymore. So in a lot of ways, this is what I'm saying. And this is why in the beginning I was like, wow, this compatibility is really like, whoof, it's kind of, where is it? And I wonder why wedding is on the board, because it almost seems as though for one of you two, it seems important to be married, but it's like this person is so kind of like, I don't know, they're so like not really there in realizing how bad the relationship is necessarily, or how much you see them as being someone that you feel like you have to help rather than someone you can have an equal relationship with. You guys are in so totally 2 different pages. You know what I mean, Sagittarius? It's one of those things, and I think this year you kind of like, I think it's just going to prove to be too much, right? Because it's like you want to try to help them. You want to try to, keep positive with them, but they're like their own worst enemy. They're their own worst enemy, and they want the strength you have. They want something from you. You can feel that, but they sabotage themselves because they make it so difficult for you to talk to them or communicate or to help them. Clearly, they need the help, but they make it so difficult to accept the help, and make it so difficult for you and them to reach a common ground that it just feels like, in the end, it feels like a defeat. It feels like you're just going to throw your hands up and say, you know what? I just can't. There's nothing we can do here because you just won't let me in, There's your 5 of Cups, more power struggle, and Queen of Swords and 8 of Swords. There you go. So that makes perfect sense. Bottom of the deck is 3 of Cups. So yeah, you are just like over it. I want to say this year you kind of deal with this person, Sagittarius. I'm going to say you come into the year Knight of Wands. There's your Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is the same as King of Wands. That's how you feel, and this is how they see the relationship. Like you are like you're coming in this 2020 being so strong with like your ambition and what you want to do with your life, and you just don't want to deal with this like miserable sort of disappointing relationship. You're just burning so brightly in 2020. You come in with the Empress energy, Sagittarius, And it's like you have so much that you want to do. You just don't want to be like with this wet rag of a person in a lot of ways, It's just like, I can't even, I even get sort of like verklempt thinking about it. They're just so difficult to talk to. 5 of Cups, it's just like a constant misery, a constant sort of like disappointment, trying to communicate with them. This 9 of Swords, it's like this is how you see them. You see them as somebody who's just really struggling. And 9, who's just like so alienated, so insular, like you can't even reach them, because 9 is the number for the hermit. So it's like, even though you're with this person or in a relationship with them, you just realize that you can't reach them because they won't allow you in. Here it makes perfect sense, Queen of Swords and interference. This is them. They're so, the person you're dealing with is finding it so difficult to accept who they truly are. They like very much wear a mask, right? And trying to get underneath that mask with that Queen of Swords is like very difficult. You know, very, very difficult. Like, who they truly are is somebody who is toxic. You know, I almost feel like for some of you, you've been dealing with somebody who pretends they weren't toxic. They think they're high priestess. Like I said, they're very, very confident, and they think they know who they are, but it's like, who they really are is extremely toxic. You know, because 8 of Swords is my gaslighter. It's my victimizer. This is a person who just does not communicate effectively with others. They're really restrictive, and it's just alienated by their, you know, their ideas and their opinions, the way they see life and everything. You know, and it's like, Queen of Swords talks about the need to be who you are, but it's like, this person is the type of person that when you scratch the surface, all you get is more surface. You know what I mean? It's like, this person is just not, you know what I mean? They are not like the type of person that you can get anywhere with, because their dysfunction and their toxicity is, at the core of it, is their inability to communicate effectively. Look at all of these swords cards that are like out of whack. 9 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords. I mean, if you wanted all of the sort of most negative, sort of out of balance swords cards, these are it, you know? And it's like, you know, it's just something that you realize that you're just not compatible with. And no matter how much you try, Sagittarius, it's like you have to let go. Letting go of control issues is definitely at heart. Some of you may be married, and this is why wedding is there. I don't know if you guys are married to this person, or it could be that the idea of a marriage is one of the things that's holding you guys together. I'm not really sure why wedding is coming in. Could be a long-term relationship, Sagittarius, like I said. But this year is a year where you realize that no matter how long you've been with them, you realize that this is just something fundamental about them. I almost want to say, for some of you, you're waking up to the fact that this person like legit has a mental issue that there's no way you could ever get around. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people have mental issues that aren't necessarily diagnosed or medicated, but they're enough of a mental issue that they just simply can't have a productive relationship. And I think you come to that conclusion this year about this individual, Sagittarius, because everything you try, you know, at the end of the day, you just concede defeat with that 5 of Swords, because you just realize there's nothing, you know, their objective is not the same objective as yours. And that's it. You know? And Hawk energy is on the board, because I think you see all of that this year. You know, this is very much a year of you realizing that this has nothing to do with you, Sagittarius, and everything to do with the person's dysfunction and how you can't really do anything about it. 3 of Cups, and there's your Tower. The 3 of Cups talks about abundance and social relationships and friendships. I'm going to say this year, Sagittarius, definitely depend on your friends and go out and socialize and, to, you know, talk to the people around you in your life that are close to you and that are your friends and that have your back, because this is also 8 of Swords and 5 of, this is the type of person that can very easily gaslight you the longer you're with them, and it's going to take a while to come out of it and to realize that it's not you, it's them, you know. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to leave it. This is your love relationship reading for 2020. Some of you are really waking up to an issue with somebody that just is not fixable, because they just aren't fixable, you know, and they aren't willing to fix themselves. But you're certainly going to wake up to that, and you're going to let go of it, you know, letting go of trying to control this issue, and you're definitely going to find a lot of freedom. And you're going to renew a lot of your friendships that are really going to be supportive for you this year as you wake up to this situation. Let me know how you feel about this reading. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to let me know in a comment if you'd like to be in the running for this beautiful deck. You have to be subscribed and just leave me a comment. And that's it. But for right now, Sagittarius, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of 2019. And I shall see you in 2020. Bye-bye now.